Welcome. This is Crime Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love, where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile. Hence, we say the crimson light is live. So we must remember to smile, okay, because smile is really a master number and it also equals the word master, and that means it is from all corners of four corners of the earth, that which we represent, north, south, east, west. When we smile, this is the energy we send out. So smile, smile. Okay. And of course, the number 4 is so reflective in all these presentations we are doing. It's just so beautiful, so delicious. Okay. So on the last presentation, exploring Satan, yes, which equals 10, equals 10, and we were trying to understand the interplay of Satan in or function, basically. Okay, so we have covered that Satan is 11215. Okay, let's do this here. 11215. And that, of course, in the story of Job, not to lay a finger on Job or stretch his hand, so to speak, he was not able to succeed with Job because Job already equals number 9. Job in the name Job is 9. Also, we have seen in the name Job, I'll just stick Job here. Stick Job here. Also is O, and we have J. So J, of course, comes on the jazz, and we have O comes on the 6, which is on the fox, where we are required to be wise and make our choices, wise choices, so we can have a smooth life. But it doesn't always happen like that at all. We are still trying to make sense of whether we go left or right or up and down. So that is another process we have covered. But we also have found a very insightful meaning to the letter B, which has in it a construct of agreements. We could say two sets of agreements with between 1 and 3. And what's between 1 and 3 is 2. So we have two sets of 2 in the number, in the letter B, which is the construct of 1 and 3. Okay, let's use another pen. The construct of 1 and 3. So we see that showing here. Okay, so we've covered this. We also, of course, through the presentation have just been going, oh, honey bee, because the word bee came really to life as in a sweetness. And of course, enjoying this revelation, it really resonates like honeybee. And so I done the numerical value on honey, which I believe is also, it's 31. So 31, of course, is the mirror image of number 13. Now, what led us onto this is really the chapter John, John, oh, my pens are dry, John, which is 1, 6, 8, and 5. Let's see if I get another pen. Okay, there we are. 1, 6, 8, and 5. So we know that 7, well, I add like this, just I add like this. So it's 7, and I say 7 and 7, 14, and 1, 15. So this is 20. Okay, so Job is really 20. Job is 2. And this is where, this is the number, I'm sorry, it's not Job, it's John. John is 2. And John, this is the chapter we got the text that help us understand that Satan went into Judas after having the bread, and he when Judas took bread, When Judas took the bread, Satan went into him. Okay. All right. So this is what we are sticking with. But let's see the source that we got this from. So it's from John, and chapter 21. Okay. Would it be John chapter 20 when I might have rubbed it off? But let's see. No, John chapter 13. John chapter 13. That's the number that has been spelling at us, calling, shouting, nudging. So, which is correspondent with Revelation, because Revelation is really uncovering the deep mysteries that we have been wanting to make sense of. So basically, after this presentation, we are not running away from the number 13 anymore. We are loving it because it's B number. Okay, so continuing from the source of that information where Judas um, took bread. So I was looking at the presentation, and what really struck me was very beautiful and very delicious. So first of all, we know that John is 2. Let's see this here. And also the verse 27. So 2 and 7 is 9. So 2 and 7 is 9. So we have 9 and we have 2. And if we were to add 2 and 9 together, we get 11. 11 is a representation of 1 and 1 is 2. It's as if it's going back to the source of which it derived from. I just need to take this off so not to add any more confusion on here. So it's John chapter 13. Let's do this. 13. But we see if we have this here, this is the 13, and then we have 2, 7 equals 9. 9. So, of course, we had the bread. The bread is also number 3. Number 3 is the digit that is divisible. 3 threes are 9. Okay, so we see what happens here. We have 3 sets of 3s here. 3 threes, 9, 3 threes, 9. We have 3 sets here, and we see that happens in the sacrifice. This is where everything, all this entails the sacrifice. So we see here, this is a demonstration, the join, the partnership of perhaps John too. His agreement is being reflected in that which had taken place. Because there cannot be an agreement or union without both parties agreeing. That would not be an agreement. That would be manipulation, or it would be abuse, or whatever else you want to call it. But this, what we are getting is that in this section, there was an agreement. There is harmony. It was a beeline for whatever reason, but it is in Revelation as Revelation. The word Revelation is 13. And that is what the deep secret of 13 is. But there's so much more, so much more. All right, let's further explore. We will further explore John in another presentation. But the point I really want to bring here is that it's the two, going back to that presentation, that when Judas, by the way, Judas is also 10, so meaning he had his point of reference with Satan. Judas. So this is 1, this is 3, 4, 1, 1. And Satan is 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, and 5. Now, here's the difference. This is what we see the difference with Judas and Satan. But here's the 1 on this side with Judas standing on his feet with that agreement that he made. And of course, this is the letter here in the D, the cross. This I had no inclination to change. No inclination to change that D, which is appearing in the middle here. Like, of course, D, like with T appearing here with Satan, there was no inclination to change T or D. Isn't that delicious? Wow. All right. So let's and we see the reverse side of SA here with Judas, and we see SA here with Satan. Was there a difference? Because so basically, again, this is transpiring as Judas in 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 the number 4 as 13 in that sacred agreement with that hidden factor where 4 takes place, because of course we have taken it's 4 here, but 4 is in the B. That is the hidden chamber that takes place here. So we could actually put the B here. This is where Judas had this sacred agreement that we were not aware of. Let's keep it here. 4. That 4 also is transpiring here, where Judas would have had a very good insight of what was to happen. I knew there was something about that D. And of course, Satan has that 1 here, 1 here, standing on his feet here, but Judas, again, is in close partnership here, 1 and 3. There was no escape in this, 1 and 3. And that is what we are getting with John, which I have heard before that John means join, but I didn't understand it. Okay, so it is 2. So the 2 is hidden between 1 and 3. Oh, I need to show this. 2, of which John or join is John, chapter the book of John, the disciple. It's hidden here in 3 because Judas is 1 and 3. 1, 3, 1, 3. Then there's 4 and 1, 1. And that 4, of course, when it comes in that D here, it means it's untouchable. That is what I believe. That is what I believe. Because I had no inclination to change that position. And it would mean that whatever action that Judas was performing here, he would have to be intact. It was an agreement to be performing this sacred, it was a sacred act. Which means that he could stand on his own 2 feet, whether in the spirit realm, wherever we see it, as. A-S, as. Wow. Jew, as. This is it, as Christ. He would stand as Christ. Christ was a master. Jesus Jesus. I am beginning to wonder, was there really a difference here? Jesus is 11, and we see 11 here as, this is where, as, this is just amazing. This is delicious. Oh, I want to hold this up. Oh, I have been, I'm hoping that you have seen this. So I'm not sure what is being reflected there, but I just want to summarize this. So we see that John equals 2, from where I got the text that, and when Judas took bread, Satan went into him. So we know from here, I am showing that the word Satan equals 10. We have done this, but also Judas, that is 1, 3, and 4 is 7, 8, 9. Let's do this again. 1 and 3 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8, 8 and 2 is 10. So this is Judas. This is Judas. So Judas is really on equal par with Satan. We see that here. We also see that the numerical values for Judas is 1 and 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 1. And we also see for Satan here is 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 5. So we see a common factor is that there is 211. There is 11 here and 11 here. So they share a common factor, Judas and Satan, on this side and on that side. They are mirroring each other. So there we go. This is a join here. We could say 11. This 11 here, let's put a circle here for, this is for Judas. I have mentioned this before, but I'm not sure how much has been recorded, so I'm just repeating myself here. I had no inclination to change this letter D from this top here when I was setting this template, and we see that this is the D that is deriving here, the Judas D. The D is 4. The D, of course, I am getting an inclination. It also the D-Day, if you want to say. I don't know how that comes now. But also it's the numerical value of 4. This 4 here is corresponding to where the cross and the crucifixion and the number 10 and all of those number 10, number 3, and lots of numbers play out in this number 4. So we see all those numbers that play out there. It's 4 that does not reflect in Satan. It does not reflect, this 4 does not reflect in Satan. Satan has no business so much. It doesn't show that he has that business here with number 4, which also is in correspondence with number 9. All right. So he's with 2. He does 2 and he does 5. So he does 1, 1, 2, and 5. So we know that is 6 on this side and we have 2 on that side. But here, this 2 here is the strong, again representing a join, a union, a partnership that would help with the crucifixion to be complete. So this is a representation of that which had taken place. So it would seem like Judas was in consciously and in agreement in that be here. It was a hidden factor. It's a hidden factor that we have not been aware of because it had been construed or it had been embedded in that B, which is number 13, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. This is 1, 3. There's the union here. So if Judas was in that B here, that union, which is reflective, because if there was no, let's see, yes, I was going to say if there is no T, 2 in his name, then it would probably not really add. But we can see from here, number 1 and 3. This is where the revelation is. That's the B. That's the B. That these two are joined. 1 and 3 is joined. And between 1 and 3 lies number 2. Lies. It's no wonder we have been lied to. There's the lies. Lies number 2. Okay, so of course, so that 2 would perhaps mean there were 2 people or 2 other witnesses giving wrong stories or whatever it is, that 2 would be transpiring. And it's no wonder, because that 2 here is the Satan's 2. So there is a perhaps there's a polarity in there, but it also in that polarity is the balance of good and evil, if you like, which brings about the honey. Because the honey bee, there's the bee, it does have a sting to it. Wow. Okay. Really wanting to keep these um, presentations at a length that really is sustainable. I don't know if that's but and so we may have to elaborate a bit more on this, but there is still another section that I want to complete with the presentation with John. Okay, so I will end this one here for now and really go back